I never thought it would happen to me. I never imagined that someone could invade my life, step into my home, and unravel everything I believed about love, trust, and safety. My name is Vanessa. I'm 34, living alone in a modest apartment in downtown Chicago. My life was simple, predictable: work, gym, a few close friends, and Friday nights spent curled up with a book. I liked it that way. Predictable, safe, uncomplicated, until the night he arrived. It started subtly. I noticed small things first, minor details I dismissed as forgetfulness or my imagination. My keys were slightly out of place. The faint scent of cologne lingered even after I'd sprayed my favorite perfume. A chair moved slightly when I was sure I hadn't touched it. I told myself it was paranoia. Living alone sometimes messes with your head, I reasoned. Chicago is a big city. Anxiety is part of life. I tried to forget it, but then came the phone calls. No one ever spoke. Just silence, faint breathing on the other end. I tried tracing the number. Nothing, no record, no answer, just emptiness. And then the messages. Simple typed words appearing on my phone screen. I'm closer than you think. I see you. You can't hide. Panic settled into my chest like a living thing. My apartment, once a haven, felt like a trap. Every creak of the floorboards, every shadow made my heart pound. I slept with a baseball bat under my pillow, checked every lock multiple times, and even installed a small camera near my door. One night, around 11 p.m., I came home from a late shift at the law office where I worked. The streets were empty, the city lights reflecting off wet asphalt. My apartment door was slightly ajar. My pulse spiked. I gripped my keys like weapons and pushed it open. The place was quiet. Too quiet. I flicked the lights on. Nothing. Nothing moved. And then I noticed it. A note on the kitchen counter. My handwriting, only I didn't write it. Vanessa, do you remember me? I froze. My stomach knotted. The words were in my handwriting. How could that be possible? I spent the next days unraveling what was happening. Nothing had been stolen. No signs of forced entry. But the messages continued. Photos of me, taken from outside my apartment window. Details about my day that no one should have known. And then I saw him. He was standing in the park across from my building, watching. Tall, dark hair, glasses reflecting the streetlights. My breath caught in my throat. He was perfect, dangerous, magnetic. I called the police, of course, but the reports went nowhere. No evidence, no criminal record. It was as if he was a ghost, untouchable. Weeks passed. The tension was unbearable. I couldn't sleep, couldn't focus. I stopped going out, stopped talking to friends. I was consumed by fear and obsession. I started leaving lights on, changing my routines, driving different routes. And yet, there was a pull. Something about him disturbed me, but it also captivated me. I caught myself thinking about his face, imagining conversations we'd never have. I hated myself for it. I feared it, wanted it to end, but couldn't escape the strange magnetism he had over me. Then one evening, it all came to a head. I returned home to find my apartment dark. The door was locked, but the chain was slightly loose. My breath quickened. I entered slowly, baseball bat in hand, and there he was, sitting on my couch, calm, smiling. "I've been waiting for you," he said. His voice was smooth, confident, terrifying. "Who are you?" I demanded. My voice shook. "What do you want?" He smiled. "I think you already know." He told me a story of obsession, of love twisted by distance and rejection, of a life that had been quietly watching mine unfold for years. He knew my routines, my favorite coffee, the books I read, everything. And now he wanted me to see the truth about myself. I felt a surge of anger. "Get out!" I screamed. "I'm calling the police." He laughed, but it wasn't cruel. It was intimate. "No one can stop this. Not me, not you, not anyone." The next hours blurred into an electric tension. He didn't hurt me, not physically, but he invaded my mind, my sense of control, my perception of safety. Every glance, every word was calculated. Every movement made me aware of my own desires, fears, and weaknesses. And then, something shifted. I realized I wasn't entirely afraid anymore. Something in me had awakened. Curiosity, longing, fascination. Dangerous, yes. Irresistible, yes. I couldn't explain it. And he knew it. By the time the sun rose, he was gone. No note, no trace, just the lingering scent of cologne and the echo of his presence. But everything inside me had changed. My apartment no longer felt safe, but I didn't want it to. My life, once predictable and boring, had been shaken awake. Days turned into weeks. The messages stopped, the photos stopped, and yet I couldn't forget him. I found myself leaving my door unlocked sometimes, imagining him stepping inside. I replayed the night over and over, the words, the tension, the danger, the thrill. I began to see myself differently. I realized how little I had allowed myself to feel alive. My life had been orderly, safe, but it had also been flat, colorless, predictable. He had changed me. Months later, I never saw him again. Perhaps he was a ghost, perhaps a figment of my imagination. But the mark he left? That was real. The hunger for risk, the thrill of danger, the awakening of desire, I would carry that forever. I don't condone what happened. I don't romanticize it. But it taught me a lesson. Life is not about safety or predictability. Life is about feeling, experiencing, and daring to confront the shadows of desire and fear. And now, every time I enter my apartment, I feel the ghost of that night, watching, waiting, whispering that life is always more than it seems. I will never be the same woman I was before, and part of me is thankful for that.